Hi, it's Cheryl with Caribou Country Lifestyle. Today I'm going to be doing some garden maintenance. Just going around and fertilizing what needs to be fertilized, adding whatever amendments I need to do for my plants, and I'm going to be thinning out some plants as well. So come along and we'll do it together. Okay, so first on the list is going to be my pole beans. I'm going to be thinning these out so that they have 4 inches in between their plants. And I'm going to do this before they actually start to attach themselves to my supports that I have here. So I'm just going to go along and I am going to take a look and see which ones need to be picked out. So I have a couple here that are pretty close together. And if I'm going to pick one out, I'm going to try and pick the smaller and leave the better looking ones to climb up the supports. This one I don't have much of a choice. I'm going to have to take that one out in the middle. I've also got some weeds in here that I'm going to get rid of as well. And that one, and I'm just going to take this one out on the end. So I have got everything out that needed to be put out, and these are my pole beans, so they will be climbing up these supports. And I just wanted to make sure that I had them thinned out. I think I need to take this one out as well. So that should, another weed there. That's another part of the maintenance as well. And then these bean plants that I have pulled out, I'm just going to toss them over and give them to my pigs as a little treat for them. So let's go over to my dragon tongue bush beans. We'll do those. So here we have the dragon tongue bush beans, and there's not really a whole heck of a lot to thin out. I think I'm taking out 2 plants. There wasn't too much going on here. So that will go over to my pigs as well. Okay, so next on the list is going to be my corn. And corn, you generally want to thin them out. I thought it was 6 to 8 inches, but it's actually 8 to 10 inches. So I have one right here. I'm just going to pull that one out, but I'm going to have to take this one and I'm going to take this one out. Didn't get the whole thing. There we go. And then I guess I'm actually going to take the one that's more established and leave that one and take the smaller one out. And then going down, I'll take this one and this one out. And I'll take the weeds out as I go along. I've got a little bit of dill growing in here. I'm actually going to add a little bit of fertilizer in here, just a 5-5-5 ratio of fertilizer. It's just an organic all-purpose fertilizer, and I'll just gonna scratch that into the dirt. I just want to finish thinning out these carrots, or finish out thinning out this corn. And okay, and that should be good. I'm going to throw this over and give that to the pigs. Okay, so there I have my corn is thinned out. Okay, so I have a all-purpose organic fertilizer, and I'm just going to be shaking this on top of the ground all over. I won't put it on my plants, but I'm going to definitely shake it around my plants. And this is actually my, where I have my asparagus. So I'm just gonna go around. I've got flowers in here too. And then I have a little claw handheld tool, and I'll just scratch this into the soil around the plants and just give it a little added boost. The corn will appreciate it, my herbs will appreciate it, the asparagus will appreciate it, and I'll just scratch it in with my little handheld tool here without disturbing the plants around it. Because I've got some zinnias and some lobelia, some sunflowers growing in here. I've put in some snapdragons in amongst my plants. I had an excess of flowers, so I decided, oh, I'll put it in here, pretty it up a little bit, and I am just going to, this is some of these asparagus roots. I want to bury them. I'll grab some of this mulch. And I will bury these exposed asparagus roots in the mulch now that I've already raked that up. Oh, don't want to hurt my poor little dill. Okay, scratch all of this in. Next thing on my list is I'm going to be planting some cucumbers in behind my carrots here. And these cucumbers have taken forever to mature and get started. And I have them out hardening off. So I'm adding some dolomite lime in the soil. So I'm just going to add some dolomite lime where I'm going to put these cucumbers, and a half a cup of the fertilizer too. And I'm going to mix that into the soil. And I'm going to be planting pickling cucumbers in back here. Just want to mix this in really good. Got some clumps, break those up. And then I'll be bringing my plants out to get that done. Okay. You see how my peppers have all those holes in them? Well, it definitely has a pest issue. My other peppers don't seem to have that happening to them. So I'm going to sprinkle on some diatomaceous earth to help control these pest issues. And what I've done is I've just put some of the diatomaceous earth into this bottle. I couldn't find a proper powder applicator bottle to be able to do this, so I just actually went and bought a squeeze bottle that they use for putting barbecue sauce in. So I hope this works out. We'll soon find out. So I'm just going to, oh, that works not too bad. I just have to bring it down. I'll just shake it on. I have noticed there are slugs, and I have killed probably at least 8 slugs on these 2 plants. So I really think that's the culprit, but I'm not sure if there's anything else going on with these. So I'm just going to, I should probably put more than that. This is not working as good as I thought it was going to work. So, okay, plan B, shake it on. I just don't want these bugs eating any more off these plants than they already have done. So good to know that doesn't work. Okay, for my tomato plants, I've gone and I've pinched out most of the suckers that I have on these tomato plants. These are indeterminate tomato plants. And I'm going to be scratching in some bone meal and also some of my all-purpose fertilizer as well. And that is going to help with the disease for the tomato plants. So I'm just going to grab a handful and I'm just going to put it around mostly my tomato plants. And then I have the fertilizer. And I'm not putting it on the tomato plant. I'm going to use my little claw and I'll just work it into the dirt around the plants. That way it's not the fertilizer and the bone meal is not touching the plant. It's just going into the dirt around the plants. And again, this is just the all-purpose organic fertilizer that I'm using. And it is the 5-5-5 ratio along with the bone meal. Okay, so there you have it. I have fertilized and bone mealed my tomatoes, thinned out my beans, thinned out my corn, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing for today. I'll just go around and do a little bit of weeding out of the garden and my plants. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing to have a little bit of added maintenance to my plants. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again the next time. We'll talk again. Bye for now.